It's happening. On today's show, the gals talk about friends with Bennies. How common is this arrangement? Please chime in and let us know what kind of experiences you might have or don't have. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Time Spent Poorly YouTube for your fix of food and friendship. And now your hostesses with the mostesses for this rated triple X for hardcore, violent podcast material. Bree and Caitlin.
I shouldn't laugh so hard, but every time you're like, this dirty, dirty podcast, it just gets so, just too funny. Hey, girl, talk to me.
What's up? Can you hear me? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hey guys,
Yeah, we did that.
We're sorry about last episode and how. Yeah.
So, for those of you who like this show so much, but sometimes thinks there's some production issues, you're not wrong. That is my fault. I do produce this show to the best of my ability. I try my absolute damnedest.
And sometimes it just ain't good enough.
And sometimes it just ain't good enough. You know? I'm getting a spinning wheel of death on the YouTube, so I'm making sure that it's still looking
Perfect. Good. Awesome. Hey guys, so this episode is going to be about friends with benefits.
Yeah.
So
it's okay. It's just
Bennies
we were
with the
talking
Bennies.
during the hang in there baby. FrienDish is coming.
Oh.
That's okay though.
Yeah. Then they just really knew it was coming.
It was just a podcast.
We already
at that
came.
point.
Yeah.
That's just a
straight
podcast. Yeah. That's all it ever was. Anyway, I am still learning on the producing end of this. I produce my own show, but I'm trying to do a lot more for their show than what I do for my show.
Because we
As
need
in
it.
us? As
Yeah,
in us? Okay.
because we need help. Is what
Well,
you said.
no, it's just
Yeah.
because my show is just I don't play a lot of stuff, and I haven't got to be on this end where I kind of get to tool around and play with things.
Yeah.
So I'm trying my damnedest, and I appreciate everyone who gave me all of the cornucopia of notes that I got on the last episode.
Constructive criticism.
Very good help.
Can you
stuff.
hear me? I can't hear myself. It could just be me.
Turn your mic up, or turn your headphone up.
It's all the way up. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you just fine.
All right, Chaz, if you're listening, please message me if you can't hear me.
Look, there's bars on here.
Okay.
I can hear you.
It's important that they hear me.
I'm glad that Chaz is the person now. We're like, yo, Chaz, you got any feedback?
Shout out to
You
Chaz.
should be heard. Anyway, I appreciate all the notes. Thank you for all your help. I will do my best to ensure that stuff like that doesn't happen again. I tried this last time I tried fixing it in post, and that was part of the problems is that I'm not very good at that either. So I really could not get that going for me. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on. That was just my fault.
Yes.
No way to chalk it up other than that it was my fault and not theirs, and I promise I'll do my best in the future.
It's respectable that you can say that you messed up.
I do.
It's a good quality in a human.
But now this is their show.
Okay, welcome to our show.
Yeah, this is a FrienDish podcast.
Yeah, not
Are
the
we-
Derek fuck up show.
It's actually a side note. It's definitely the Derek fucks up show on the side.
Oh, FrienDish, aka
Derek
the
fucks
Derek
up.
fuck up show.
I love you, and I appreciate you doing this for us. It's not,
And you had nice hair today.
Yeah.
Now you have a hat on.
I know, right?
But your hair looked nice.
You got a
today.
haircut
Did you get a
yesterday.
haircut?
And
I went
it
to
looks
ask,
so
but
good.
then I got nervous because you're always wearing hats, and then I'm like, what if you're like, bitch, my hair's been like this for 7 months.
There's no stuff in it today, though, and so I decided to turn
Oh,
the hat
maybe that's why it looked different too. It's just soft.
on. Especially when you told
light.
me that I might have to be on the show, so...
Yeah, because everybody who can hear you can see your hair.
Yeah.
Well, switched now. I
I
have
know.
the two
I'm
thingies.
We're talking about the people who listen to the
Yeah, the
podcast, not the
Spotify.
people
Oh,
who...
yeah.
Because really, we have millions. Which let's take a moment to say thank you to our. We just reached
Millions
1
of viewers
million
and-
fans
yeah.
on Spotify.
Wow.
This is a great
We're
moment
at the
for us.
top of our game.
We've been doing this for 2 months now. 2 months. Let's also do that. It's March,
Yeah.
aka Caitlin's birthday month, and we
Cha.
reached 1 million fans in 2 months. Who's done that? That's not a Kardashian.
It's only down from here, guys.
We're gonna lose them as I'm saying that.
If we hit 1 million fans, I would just go out and wouldn't even play a drinking game with that. I would just go out in my car and do heroin.
We did it. We don't have to do anything else with our lives.
I will say that there's got to be. We do say Spotify every week, but we do need to start giving more shout out to our iTunes listeners.
Which I should too. I
Who
use
Fuck
iTunes.
Apple.
Who
Fuck
has-
Apple and
No, no, no.
Macintosh.
No,
You gotta stop.
well, girl.
You need to stop that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Because
love their people, but I hate
you
the
probably should listen
corporation.
to this thing I want to tell you before you continue going, and that's
It's only
Fif-
down from here.
59% of our listeners are coming through on iTunes. So
Android
cut
is
it
the
out.
future.
I know, but I'm just.
But
letting
I
you
agree.
know.
I got an iPhone.
So
And
if you are listening to the show on
Yeah.
iTunes, please go out and after what you just heard Bree said,
Yeah. fuck
please
you.
go out and rate the show high. Give it a good review.
Yeah, give it a good review and then say "fuck you too, Bree." Fuck you too, please.
Will you
Thank
stop?
you. Love you. Also, I can't say much because we do use Macintosh computers for this entire production
Uh-huh.
that I bought.
No, wait. Yeah, that you spent.
Yeah,
Thousands of
I'm
dollars.
pro Apple, so I'm just gonna
I mean,
quietly
it's
drink
really
my wine
pretty.
in this corner.
It's really pretty. I'm a graphic designer, so I can appreciate how they just monopolize the entire,
well,
the entire industry. But whatever, I'm not bitter or anything. Good for them.
So
Yeah, let's move on to what people actually want to hear about, which is not my capitalist ideas. Let's move on to what we're drinking and eating right now.
Boom.
yeah, let's talk about this wine.
Yeah, I went and got some pretty fancy wines. Not really fancy, and I don't
middle
know.
shelf.
Yeah,
I'd say.
I mean, it was top shelf for the place I went, but
Where'd you go?
middle shelf for everywhere else.
Yo, I just want to give a shout out to Grocery Outlet. You ever buy wine there?
I've been told to go to grocery
You
outlet so many times, but the last time I went there, I was like, I feel poor.
Okay, you got to get over that. One,
I know that's really shitty of me to say. First off, but
used food store is fantastic. I used to shop there because I was poor, and then I became an adult and just kept shopping there because
I've seen some really cool vegan options
so
from there.
They have a really fantastic organic section and vegan and vegetarian stuff. And the thing that sucks about them is it's really hit or miss. So one week you're like, fuck, this is so good, I'm gonna eat these, and then the next week you go back and they might not be there. But
like Costco.
But their wine because you're just you don't know what you're gonna get. So when I shop there, if I do and I'm doing grocery shopping, I hit them first, get what I can get, and then move my way down to Winco, Costco, things like that. But their wine selection is fantastic, and they have people there that I feel like it's weird. They do so once a Saturday a month they do a wine tasting at Grocery Outlet, which is these are strange things that I know about it. But also the people whoever is in charge of working there, I don't know if they have designated wine stalkers and sommelier kind of ish
People that take pride in
or
their
if
knowledge.
everyone is trained. But when I've gone there, what are you looking for? Oh, you want a red? You looking dry? You looking sweet? You want a more and then they just go off on all this stuff. I'm like, oh, you know a lot of information. But their wine is so cheap, and the best part is when you buy 6 bottles and then you get checked out, and then the lady's like, you saved $173 today. And you really, it makes
and
you
then
feel,
you
even
take
if it's a
your
lie,
fake wine glass and you go, thank you.
yeah, you cheers them with nothing in your hands.
Yes.
I don't know if those numbers that they have, this bottle's $3.99, but usually it's $27.99.
Holy
those might be
shit.
fake. I don't know, but they make me feel good. And when they tell me I've saved so much money, I'm like, I did it. I've done it in my life. I don't know what the heck.
to find it.
Is that
I was
cheering
trying
me
to
on?
find an air horn so you could be like, wah, wah, wah.
Well, you can just be our air horn
I always
from now
make
on.
the sound with my mouth.
Yeah, it's easier. But grocery outlet, don't feel poor, at least when you're shopping for wine. Makes you feel
Actually,
good.
$27 for wine is a lot for me. Both these
Yeah.
bottles were roughly $15, $16 a piece. which
I
is
worked
kind
at
of
the
expensive
grocery
for
outlet.
me.
I'm
Because I'm like bottom shelf normally. I'm like, oh, look at this, $6. Woo, bye.
Yeah, when I go to Wingo has a on their bottom shelf. It's like Tisdale or Trindale. I don't remember. It's
Barefoot.
It's three.
Or
No,
bare feet or whatever that
It's
one's
like-
called.
it is. I think like Barefoot, but it's cheaper. I'm assuming it's Winco's brand. Maybe you can get
A
other places.
Winco brand wine.
But it's like at $3.99, and it's not. I like to cook with it. I like to drink it. And when I feel like when I am poor, like I'm like I'll do it. But grocery outlet, you can buy a little bit nicer wine for the same price.
I used to do boxed wine a lot before I ran out of room in my fridge, because now that I own a lot of axolotls, that's kind of where they.
That's where the babies live.
Yeah, well, when they get sick or something happens, I usually put them in the fridge, which takes up a lot of room.
Yeah.
So, like, right now, I have an axolotl that's a little sick, so that's where she is right now.
Yeah, my friend Zoe, she is the wine queen. Like she drinks box wine.
It's good.
She drinks nothing else,
It's
which
easy.
is funny. Like one time we went to this. What's in Julietta? Coulter's Creek, the winery. Have you been out there?
Yeah, I was gonna buy a Coulter's
So,
Creek wine.
I used to be a wine member there. They're fantastic, and their food is so good. But we went there, and we got some wine, and I asked her, I was like, oh, are you going to get another glass? And she's like, no. And I was really thrown off, because I was like, oh, we're going to have a few glasses. We're going to hang out, spend the afternoon here. And her reason, she's like, I could buy a whole box for the price of that one glass. And I was like, yes, that is a true statement that you're making, but it's not a valid, like, that's not worth it. Like,
I went on a date with two ladies at Coulter's Creek.
were you hoping for a threesome, or were
It
they?
was my mom and me.
Oh. Okay, so it was a real date. It was just.
It was definitely a date.
Aw,
I mean,
cute.
yeah, sure, gross. Ooh, what?
I think that's cute.
Yeah, it was the first time he met my mom, and my mom was like, I gotta impress.
Sorry, I asked if you wanted to have a threesome.
No, it's hot. I mean, gross.
I totally did.
So, okay, so we've got this wine, and the wine that we're drinking right now is Ravenswood, which is, how do you say that word?
Zinfandel?
Zinfandel. I've never had that before, ever. I just bought these two because I was like, ooh, one says cake, the other one has ravens on it.
And I like both.
Yes, and the other wine that will be eventually popping open, hopefully, is called Layer Cake.
And also, we were talking about, we both, I mean, I appreciate a nice wine, so I don't always do this, but when I'm trying a new wine, the label, I am one of those people that's judging the book by its cover.
Oh,
a
yeah, for
label
sure.
of a wine bottle says a lot to me.
If
Like,
it's boring, I'm like, oh, okay,
yeah,
whatever.
the
moving
graphics
on.
and the marketing and like stuff like that. I am one of those people like that's why I'm gonna
For
purchase
sure.
that bottle because
And-
it's so beautiful.
I mean, there's not only that, but sometimes the bottle itself of the bottle is cool. Like, that's a cool
oh yeah,
thing,
like
too.
I was given a rosé the other day where the bottom of the glass, like if you flip it over and look
It's
at
a
the
rose?
bottom, yeah, it's like molded like a rose. It's really pretty.
Yeah, I've got that at Costco before.
Yeah.
It's really, really tasty.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's where it came from because I
It's
saw
good.
it there the other day. But it was good. But the like cork is like glass as well.
Yes.
and it's so
Awesome.
fucking hard to get out though. It's cool and it's beautiful, but like I had the hardest time. I kept having to ask Chaz for help because I couldn't get my wine open.
I have my own personal wine cork thing that I can fit into pretty much any wine bottle.
Oh, I just got one of those. So I'll
What's
start
it called?
Are you
Is
just
this a
talking about
stopper?
wine stopper? Yeah.
It's
That
cute.
is what I should have put in there because I could not get something like rubbing that glass against the glass. I was so scared of like shattering something I think I wasn't. If I just would have like done a little more force, but I was too scared of breaking glass and like rubbing glass against glass. So
Yeah, it's sketchy. All right, so we got two bottles of wine that we've been drinking a little
one's
bit.
a screw top.
Yeah. So, it's fancy.
Actually, people are moving to the screw top.
Well, yeah, I mean, not everybody has time to sit there and unscrew a cork.
Yeah, that's the reason. Because of
Also,
time.
side note, I just learned that there was a knife in this corkscrew thing that I have, and I just,
A
yeah,
wine
I feel
key.
so fucking badass. Like, it's like a butterfly knife. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna hurt myself.
Yeah.
Dude, it's sharp, too, because I never used it because I didn't know it existed.
You're welcome.
So, yeah. Some corkscrews come with knives, guys. Just be aware. And then we have,
Tell me about the pizza.
yeah, this pizza's so fucking good, man. I got it at Rosar's in the organic section, and because we're trying to eat less carbs,
Not
I
me.
got this.
I only eat carbs. I'm on
Well.
a all carb diet currently.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to eat garlic bread every day, but I restrain myself. We bought this cauliflower crust pizza, and the reason I bought it was because it said it was a margarita pizza, but I guess it's not flavored like margaritas. Do you want to explain why?
So, we were talking about this. Man, we should have just done it on the air when I pretended. I tried to tell Bree
I know, she said
that margarita
with a straight
pizza is
face.
supposed to be like a soggy, lime-flavored pizza. Like someone
And I
spilled their
believed
margarita on their pizza. But really, I was listening to this podcast the other day. I'm going to shout it out. It's called Smart Mouth. I'm fucking obsessed with it right now. And this lady... I forgot her name. That's why I'm calling her this lady. I don't like doing that. But anyways, she interviews people. Well, she... ask them their favorite food, and then she has them on, and then they talk about their favorite food, and then they go into the history and why that food came to be, and all this information on it, and it's super interesting, and it's really fun, and she's funny and really knowledgeable. But margarita pizza was invented by a guy for Queen Margarita, so which I'm assuming a lot of people know that it's kind of Italian based, but it's like tomatoes the red on the flag, mozzarella is the white on the flag, and basil is the green on the flag. So this pizza may have been like created and done beforehand, but like officially when he started doing it is apparently like when it became like a staple. Almost like it's a really like everyone knows what a margarita pizza is, it seems like, except for Brie.
Yeah, now I know though.
But it's delicious because it's so fresh and light and yummy. Also, listen to that podcast.
Yeah.
Smart Mouth, because it is awesome. The other day I listened to an episode. So I went back to listen to all the episodes from the beginning. And there's one with Anthony Bourdain on it. It's like the third episode or something. It's like right at the beginning. This is from like 2015 or 2016. And it's about whiskey, which are things I love. I'm like, I love whiskey. I love Anthony. And I literally was listening to it and just hearing him talk, I started crying.
Aww.
He's so good. I miss him so much. And I was just so sad. Like, it's weird to listen to a podcast. I think we talked about this at brunch, but you guys were like, we were talking about celebrity deaths, but something about Anthony Bourdain just really, it like my heart literally is aching right now. But listening to him on that podcast was so interesting, but also so heartwarming and sad. So listen to it. It was good.
I know this is going to be bad, but I've never seen anything with him. I've never seen the Anthony Bourdain show. I know Derek really likes him a lot.
And his books are...
I've heard he was a wonderful person.
I read his books before I watched any of his shows, and I own, like, all of them. He's just so real and just so, like, open. And the thing, like, I like about him is, like, he's a chef, but he was about also just, like, the culture and appreciating the people and eating and just, like, traveling and respecting and, like...
Yeah, you were one of the first people to tell me he's, like, wasn't the type of person to travel abroad and be like, ooh, I'm about to try this bug, guys. Ew.
Yeah, like he was just, like
oh.
he was there... And he was just meeting he was truly there for the experience, it seemed like, and meeting the people. And he got really lucky, like, falling into the path that he did to be able to, like, work in a kitchen and understand and respect food so much. But then really, ultimately, like, he wanted to travel more than he wanted to just be a cook. And, like, that is what he was able to do. And I feel like he opened a lot of eyes to people or a lot of people's eyes into, like, other cultures and like and truly what food means for that. And that's such that's why I became a chef, is because I love cooking for people, because what it does and like how it brings people together and like the conversation that you have with people. So to see someone like that in a celebrity, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but as a celebrity, but having that same like agenda and stuff, and like this is what he's trying to show and promote, was really just really great.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. The last thing we have on our table, though, is shout out to WSU, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's it called?
Cougar Gold.
Cougar Gold cheese, man. I think I talked about this at brunch, or when was the last time we talked about this?
We may have talked about this as much as we've talked about butts on this show.
Yeah, I had it on top of wings. That's what it was, a Super Bowl episode.
Mm-hmm.
We had these wings from Zone 208 in Lewiston, and they had this cheese on top of the wings, and it's Cougar Gold cheese from WSU in Pullman, Washington. And it's super good, guys. Oh, no, I dropped the label. Okay.
And it comes in a can, usually.
No, it was actually wrapped up.
Well, usually, like if you buy the full wheel.
Oh.
It'll come in a can.
Weird.
And it's like a squat little can. It's like 6 to 7 inches. I don't really know, but it's like wide, but then like only 2 or 3 inches tall. It's done in a can. But you probably bought like a wedge.
Yeah,
so
we
that's
did
why it was
buy a
wrapped.
wedge.
So whoever got it, they got it in the can, cut it up, sold it.
It's
And I
pretty
think
good.
there's a reason why they can it. Like, there's some. We should have done some research. There's like a reason why it's canned.
Does it progress the aging process more, maybe?
I think so, and I think it was because then they can ship it.
Oh, that makes sense.
And they
too.
did it, like, they made it, and then they could ship it in the can, and then it, like, yeah, it can age in there, and it's shelf stable and stuff like that. I don't know enough to really talk about it, but there is information, so Google that.
Yeah, it's like a really dry feta or mozzarella. What would you say?
I'd say it's closer to a cheddar.
Cheddar, okay. I know nothing about cheese, even though my name is a type of cheese.
Oh. I had a dog named Asiago once.
That's pretty fucking cute.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking cute. I wanted to name a pet after something like that, but whatever.
After cheese?
After, like, I don't know.
Or food.
Food, like herbs or something.
Yeah, I love the name Sage. I think we talked
Sage,
about this.
basil. I love basil a lot.
Basil.
Rosemary. Oh, is it going to be our kids? Our
Oh, yeah, Rosemary
baby
is such
girl's
a cute
name.
name.
I know. Anyways, moving on. We already talked about this last episode, even if you couldn't hear us. So, Derek, we're going to talk about Friends with Benefits. Are you going to chime in?
Friendies with Bendies.
Oh, wait, we should do a quick update about Judo Dudo.
Okay.
You wanna?
Yeah, well, do I want to do the honors?
Talk about it.
I'm just really excited, and I don't know how much we can, like, disclose.
Well,
So we're going to have him on. We have to arrange, like, so we read the email. Did you respond? I'm not
did
good
not
with the
respond.
email.
I suck at the
I thought
email.
that was your job, so I'm, like,
I
scared
can
to email people
reply.
back.
Yeah.
I could, too, but I just don't know if I have the, I don't know if that is in my job description, and I have
You can do whatever
privileges
you
to
want.
respond.
Post pictures of your butt.
Just
Whatever, you know.
So just send it to our whole email list, just our butt.
Yeah.
Our butt. Apparently we
Our
have
butt.
one.
Yeah.
We got an email on Monday. I want to say Monday, because we recorded on Sunday last week, right? Yeah. So Monday, and I saw it it came through, and immediately I read his email, and I was so excited, and immediately texted Bree and Derek with like, "Did you read Judo Dudo's email?" Because I was so happy for him. But I'm making this decision apparently without
Executive
you.
decision.
Yeah, that we're gonna get with him, and over phone.
We have a Skype
We're not actually
stuff.
100% sure where he lives. I'm imagining he lives in Florida, and I don't know why. I don't know why I
Probably
created.
because we tried to Facebook stalk him once.
Oh,
We're
and
like-
I found one guy.
From
That
Florida.
must be it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know why I decided this man lives in Florida. He could be in Boise. He could be in Moscow. He could be-
Canada.
yeah, like, he could be in the Ukraine. I don't know, but in my mind, he lives
In my mind,
Florida.
he's Canadian.
Yeah, that's a good, yeah.
I don't know why.
But he went on a date with his lady. So, and we want to talk about more with him, but
We're not going to disclose too much more.
yeah, I don't want to give away too much because
We don't know what we can and can't say.
yeah, we don't know how much, but also I'd like to talk to him in person about it. But apparently they've gone on a couple dates, and it's been really successful.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited for him. And so he listened to our show last week. He couldn't watch live because he worked. He must work on Sundays, I'm assuming. I don't know what he does either. Maybe he's a gator wrestler in Florida. I know nothing about this.
Maybe he plays hockey in Canada. I don't know.
Yes, that's Sundays when they do it. But, yeah. So I think we need to have him on because apparently it's been great for them. And we need to see where
things are going great.
yeah. I'm very excited.
All right, moving on to Friends with Benefits. Let's talk about
But
this.
before we do that,
Okay.
I'm going to put a little more wine in my glass.
that's all right. Hello, Times Up Poorly Network fans. Just taking a quick time to do this quick ad read that we don't do very often, but you should go out and download the Podcoin app. It's the only podcast player that actually pays you to listen. For real, dog. I'm not kidding. Go out to www.podcoin.com and download either the iPhone or Android app today and use the promo code TSPN to get 300 Podcoins. And for every 10 minutes you listen to us there, you earn at 1.5 times the speed. And we talk a lot, so it adds up. That's podcoin.com, promo code TSPN.
Sorry I lied to everybody. I guess we had an advertisement, and I didn't know about it.
I
so.
didn't know about this, and I'm very interested, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I want money.
I mean,
I'm
you'd
poor.
assume
Help
we'd
me, I'm
know
poor.
about an advertisement. Was this Ward's idea? Ward.
It just came out. When did you lie?
Spit in my mouth. What?
I
Okay.
think it's great. I'm very supportive of it. But when you say you can get money, and I'm like, tell me more. What? I'm one of those people that's like, earn $300 by sitting on your couch for 5 minutes, and I'm like, should I click that? And then I don't because I'm like,
The
Caitlin,
easiest way for
but
us
I
to
want
make
to.
money is to send our used socks and underwear to people that want them.
I want to mail my panties so
Oh
bad.
yeah, like we should create a Patreon and the top tier people
I know
get
that's so
our
weird.
used underwear and socks, guys.
Done.
Yeah, donate to our Patreon that doesn't exist,
But we'll
Yeah.
create one.
and you can buy our used clothing.
My friend had
Your dog would buy most of it.
My dog would.
Like, where is credit card?
Right, yeah.
Brings in a leaf. Does this works?
Yeah, just like a real quick backstory on that. My dog, every time this is why I can't leave clothes on the floor. She'll just run off with it, and then she creates a nest under our bed. I know it sounds disgusting, but she runs off with our used socks and underwear all the time. And it's just
No,
like,
that's super
where did it
normal.
go? And then under the bed, it's a huge nest of just used.
It's because they feel
Underwear.
comfort with that. My dog though went through a week and he ate over 20 pairs of my underwear, and I was
So that's
so
normal then.
mad because I'd fall asleep. I mean, it was my fault because I didn't kennel train him. Oh, I did, but then I got him out of it. But then he ate all my panties.
Hot.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Okay.
It was me.
Derek just creeping in my house. And then blaming it. It's just laying them from Murray. My sweet little innocent dog is just sleeping with these chewed up underwear, and it was really Derek.
He's got one of your socks on his dick.
Oh.
It was me the whole time.
Well, that explains
Alright,
a
I
lot.
repositioned my computer here, and I will...
Alright.
Hello, everyone.
So I tried this one, or I didn't try it. I smelled it, and it smells like shit, but I'm going to try it. This cake
I think it tastes
one.
delicious.
Okay, well, it doesn't smell good at all, but...
The nose is not great.
So today's content is Friends with Bennies.
Okay, Friendies with Bendies.
I
Ooh,
definitely
that's
like
the
the
new
Raven
title.
one more, by the way, just throwing that out
But
there.
Friendies with Bendies also kind of makes you think they have something wrong with them. But I'm going to call them that.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Are we
Yeah.
thinking of benders or, like,
I
a
was thinking,
bent
like-
dick?
Oh, I was thinking about something. I'm going to not even say anything.
A
I-
bent dick? Instead of the bent neck
I was thinking
lady,
like the bends.
it's the bent
I don't
dick,
know. It's not
dude.
gross. I was just thinking of the bends that you get when you like scuba dive.
Oh,
Mommy, I saw the bent dick man again. What was
Hill
the
House.
show?
Haunting of Hill House.
Haunting of Hill House.
That's
I
such a
haven't
good
seen it.
show. Dude, it's so fucking scary.
Then I'm
But
not.
she keeps seeing this girl with this bent, broken neck. She's
Yeah.
like the bent neck lady.
It's a bent dick man.
It's a bent dick man. Oh, that's the porn version of it. Haunting of Tit House.
Rule 34.
Well, anyway, Friendies with Bendies. Or Bennies.
I don't have a lot to say on this, guys, because I've had one. I'll just really quick throw out my story there because I have one story and it's very short and it has nothing
Okay.
to do with me having an actual Friends with Benefits. But I had a
Just
crush
a
on
show
a guy.
you watched once.
No. I dated a guy briefly in high school, or not even dated. He wouldn't even say that he dated me because I was 17 and he was 20 maybe. And he was like, he waited for me to turn 18 to fuck me, and then
Oh no.
he cried afterwards, and then later after he made me walk home by myself after he was crying. I had to walk from Clarkston to Lewiston.
Could he not drive you because he was crying?
He was
too
crying.
Hard? Like,
He was like, "You need to leave," and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
this is what it's like to be
Was
18."
it like a weep or was it like an ugly mouth? Like an
It was
open mouth,
like, "I'm
ugly
gonna go to
mouth
the
cry?
bathroom, close the door, and cry, and I'm gonna tell you to leave through the closed door."
oh no.
So
He did like the Ace Ventura shower thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. Yeah. I'm like, I didn't think it was that bad, man. I thought it was great. Like,
He was just
Plunger.
too happy.
anyways, later on he messaged me because I was like, "So are we a thing?" And he's like, "No, we're not a thing, but I want you to help me become friends with benefits with one of your friends." And I was like,
Whoa.
I was like so obsessed with him that I was like, okay, yeah.
I feel like that's kind of ballsy to be like, I had sex with you, and cried, and now I want you to help me. And then
Bone your friend.
And then in my mind, like, it's like, dude, what do you want me to say? Like, dude, he's a good lay, but he fucking balls. Like, afterwards, like, what do you do?
oh, that's cool.
Or he's a mediocre lay, but he'll ball on
Oh,
you
that's cool
afterwards.
if he balls afterwards. That's cool. What a cool guy. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I meant cries profusely.
Yeah, yeah.
Not he balls out.
It's funny though
This
too
man
because
balls out.
He's
No.
a baller, straight up.
all of our friends, we had a nickname for him, and it wasn't even that. It had to do with that. It had to do with his dick, and we called him Candy Cane Dick because he had a dick that like curled inwards.
Ew. 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 Ew.
Anyways, sad moment for me. I
Candy
ended up
cane.
dating him later on, and he ended up still dumping me after a year. It was a really sad situation, man. That was a dark time in my life.
Candy cane.
Yeah, I don't like it. I can't even.
He's a real piece of shit. I'm just moving on with the story. You guys go right ahead.
Okay. Well, I've had some friendies with Bendies
Yeah, you
Throughout-
have.
throughout the years. My first one, high school, 2016.
What?
All right, Taylor Swift here. When you're 16 and you're fucking your friends.
Is that a Taylor Swift song?
I don't.
Nope.
2016.
Just a spoiler alert, Caitlin is old as fuck, Shane.
I graduated in 2009.
Oh God. I
So it
feel
definitely
I just keep forgetting that I'm a baby. I graduated 2012, you know, and I feel
Oh.
old as fuck. I feel like I'm actually like mentally
Well, I'm not gonna like.
old.
I was gonna say 2006,
Oh my God, I was in 6th
but
grade.
I just
man.
apparently just I wanted it to be earlier than that or sooner. I don't know what.
You
I'm
know
trying
what?
to say.
You don't look a day over 45.
No, thank you.
I love you. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
You
like-
actually, every time I am hang out with you, I forget that you're older than me, and I treat you like an equal.
well, I'm not that much older, so thank you for treating me like an equal.
Well, it's hard.
How do you treat Derek on a regular like?
Like my daddy.
Oh, no. Delete. Cut it. Cut that out. Cut it out.
He almost walked out of the room. He was like, I'm done.
Ew.
What was the Henry Fondle on BoJack Horseman? I enjoy when you call me father.
Oh, yeah, the robot, the sex robot. No, you're actually more like my Vincent, the
Vincent Adultman.
Vincent Adultman, all 3 kids in a trench coat.
Hi, other grown-ups.
Ooh,
I was just
Sorry.
doing stocks and bonds.
I'm
All right,
laughing too hard at this.
I
All
know.
of this.
It's the wine, man.
So-
It gives me the giggles.
2006.
Yeah. Okay. So like I had a friend's benefit. Oh God damn.
Wait, okay,
Can't
how
even talk.
old exactly were you in 2006? Because I wasn't even in junior high in
Well,
2006.
Maybe. Okay. I graduated in 2000. Yeah. Okay. So I was like freshman, sophomore.
I was in 6th grade, elementary school.
Yeah. So
I was a grown man with a job.
Yeah, you were graduated already.
we have a
right?
nice. We have
No.
a nice like
we
tier
do.
of age. And
Well, okay, can we, maybe we rewind a teeny tiny bit. I mean, I think most people understand and know what a friends with benefits
Oh, okay,
is,
yeah.
but maybe we
Yeah.
talk
do we want to
about
kind
it
of
a little bit
define it a little
about
bit.
yeah. I mean, so because I think maybe everyone has a different definition of a friend with benefit.
Oh, I also think I would have different definitions depending on the friend with benefit a little bit because there are ones where it's just like we're here, we're gonna do it, and then we're gonna leave, and then
Okay.
that's about it. I
Okay.
feel like that's the most common.
And then I feel like there are ones that you have that you don't tell that you would take to your grave.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are ones that you have where you're both okay with just people knowing.
And that you
Um,
like also enjoy each other's company, but you're just not committed. You know, so
Yeah.
that's why you're okay with people knowing. Because you're
Right.
like, yeah, we like each other, but that's not what we're here for.
And then I feel like there are ones that, and I do sadly think this fits into the category. It should not, and it's not cool at all. But that's the whole like side chick, side dude thing.
Is it the
Oh.
Me Too movement? No, I'm just
No.
kidding. No, like the people who are like actually benefiting from fucking you.
Oh yeah, that
Or
could be
that.
one. Okay, so
that's another one.
That's a version, I would say.
Were you thinking like more like you're kind of embarrassed,
Fuck
or
your
you like
boss
you don't
type
want
thing.
anymore, but they're literally your side piece. Like they're just there to like.
Yeah, like you went on a date and the date didn't go well, so you went home and rather than just having a special love scene with yourself, you messaged this person
Yeah.
instead.
It's a booty call.
But don't you feel like sometimes in that case, and that's true, that's a booty call, but don't you feel like sometimes in that case, one of the people likes each other more? There's a lot of
Yes.
I feel like there's a lot of moving pieces sometimes to the friends with benefits. That's why I wanted to kind of rewind a little bit there. There's a
Yeah.
lot of moving pieces.
And I feel like
sometimes.
just like a relationship, because in a way, it's 100% is a relationship that you're trying to have with this person. in a different sense. And the honesty is a big part of it. So if both of you aren't being honest in that thing and being really open, that's why I feel like the people who are like, I'm cool with telling people that this is what we're doing, is because they're open and honest with it, versus the other people who are just like not defining anything, not saying anything. And that's when it becomes one person's got a little bit more feelings than the other, and it's a dangerous game.
Yeah, like I call you my friend with a benefit, but you're calling me your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Or like,
I'm
there's this
calling
guy I'm
someone-
seeing, but I don't know where it's going. Like,
Yeah.
we're just hanging out. And
Or there's someone that or vice versa.
Yeah.
I'm calling them my girlfriend, but they're calling me somebody that they're hanging out with.
yeah.
And I think that's how kind of Bree and I determined that she knew that I had arrangements originally, because I did tend to refer to, well, what's the thing I refer to it as? Hanging out. Oh, if I've told her
Hanging out's like another Netflix and chill. Like, it's the same kind of term in a sense. When
because when we first started dating, we didn't go through a list of like everyone we've ever dated, but mostly because we both kind of knew, also because we were friends. But it was also like, I would say, oh, like if I saw somebody, and she'd be like, because so first off, Bree and I are very open about like who, and we don't care.
Yeah.
So if she saw me looking over across the room, she'd be like, who's that? And I'm like, oh, that's somebody I used to hang out with. And that's a thing. Or when there's a smoking hot waitress at a restaurant we go to, she makes sure that I get to see too. It's a really good arrangement. That just happened recently. Shout out to our favorite bar,
Hogan's. What?
They got a babe working in there right now.
What does that mean? What does that look? What?
No, it's cool. Hope's great. I love her.
I don't know her, and I don't care to.
She used to work at Dutch Bros. She used to make my coffee, and now she makes my cocktails. So now I get to see her in the night, and I like it more. Yeah,
I think she's really cute. She seems
She's
really
super cute.
personable. There's a
she
weird
wore the cutest hat on Friday.
Yeah, there's a weird part of me that doesn't want to like her because she looks like somebody I've had a past with that I'm not a huge fan of anymore. But so there's a part of me that's all like, oh, do I like this person because she looks like that other person? But actually, I should just give her a fucking chance. And also,
oh yeah,
she's like a good waitress. So
Sorry,
that's
she should
really
be
nice.
our
she's
girlfriend.
she's a baby. It seems like she's super young, but she's
Sure.
She is
oh yeah, she's younger
Older?
than you. Like she graduated in like.
Youngin?
old enough to work in a bar though.
Yeah, like I think she's
19?
newly. Yeah.
No,
I think she's
Washington's
newly 21.
huh?
I think she's
Washington-
newly 21.
But Washington's 21 to
Yeah.
work in a bar,
Yeah.
isn't it?
And she's
Idaho's 19.
she's really nice, and she does make good. Yeah, because I think she
Okay.
graduated in like 2015.
So now that we've kind of established a definition ish, some parameters around it. So this one in high school, what would you say classify it as? Was it another fellow high schooler?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we went to school together, and it was like a friends with benefits where nobody knew that we were doing it and hanging out, but also like we liked each other's company, so we would like talk a little bit, but not to the I felt it was kind of weird. It was like we built like a really, really good friendship that I really appreciated, and like I look back on and think like, oh, I really am thankful I had that friendship in my life, but also I got a little bit more to my friendship because we also like talked about like, I don't know, our lives and like weird, like we didn't just have sex and then immediately leave. We just like kind of hang out, which was also weird, but it was a good arrangement because we hung out, we got to know each other, and then, but nobody knew about it. Like it was just like a secret little thing that we had. So it's kind of fun when you see each other in the hallways and you're like, hey dude.
I wish that I had the ability to do that because for me, friends with benefits has never been something I've sought out because for me,
Don't sue me.
having sex with a person is like, I don't know. I've always had ulterior motives. I've always wanted to have a relationship with
Well,
the
I mean,
person.
haven't you've kind of laid that out from the very beginning, and all of the things you did, right? Is that you
From the very beginning, ever since I started having sex with people, like,
Right.
I was
mean, 'cause
always
you
like,
said, even when we first started dating, you said that you don't even really go on dates with somebody unless you feel like there's some type of potential there, right?
yeah, I've
Well,
always been a long-term relationship
so
person.
I 100% agree with you. this was not a Nintendo thing. So I never had a boyfriend in elementary school because I was like, that's dumb. Never had a boyfriend in middle school because I was like,
I had boyfriends in both those times.
I didn't because I thought we couldn't do anything. So why would we be boyfriend and girlfriend? For me, like I was
elementary school and
you know,
junior
like,
high, both times
also
were
though,
like
in those I was like the fat weird kid that was really self-conscious. So I was just there to be like the class clown. Like that was, I felt like, my purpose during those. But come to high school, this was like one of the first guys that, so he was older than me. And, you know, I'm like, oh, he's so cute. But he reached out to me and like, so in a way I was like, oh, hello. But it evolved into not being in a relationship. It just evolved into being like, we're going to hang out.
You know
what Derek said, we're going to hang out.
I just can't get it. Like, so maybe it was because, sorry, as somebody who's never actually sought out the friends with benefits thing and understood the actual benefits of it, maybe that's because, so like, I guess I'll just throw it out there. I lost my virginity at 15, like, and I was a horny son of a bitch around that time, and fucking people was fun and awesome.
That time?
Well, I mean, I cried because you're 15 and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to marry this person, like, you know.
The person I'm talking about is who I lost my virginity to.
Well, okay, but there's like the whole aspect of all I could think about was sex at that time, and then I got on birth control at like 18, and I feel like I haven't had the same libido since, and that's probably the birth control. Mm-hmm. But there's I don't know, I just don't know how to explain it, like the whole seeking out, because I can. And there's just masturbation, you know? I just don't get it. Like, explain to me.
So, okay, really quick. Again, I wasn't seeking seeking this out. I didn't know that this was a foreign concept to me at the time. So he reached out to, you know, and we talked and we became friends and then we lived close together and one thing came to another and then we became, you know, where we, and is.
And together.
Yeah.
And together.
Yeah. So, it was weird. Like, I built a really good friendship with this person. So that made me feel comfortable and safe to be able to have sex with him. But, like, also, I like sex. And I don't know, like.
Borat. I like sex.
Yeah.
I
It's nice.
like sex. It's nice.
My wife.
And I didn't have a boyfriend, and I wasn't dating anyone. So I was like, okay. Hey. I don't know. So for me, this is weird to put all this on the
I don't
podcast.
know how to turn it off. I don't know how to turn off the whole, like, feelings for a person that isn't friendship. I guess I've never had a good enough friendship with a dude.
But it's also, like, so we kind of talked about this before, like, friends is, like, maybe there wasn't feelings in this. For me, there's not necessarily feelings in the sense that I want to pursue this person and date this person. Like, I was like, oh, I saw this, how your room is. Like, I don't want, you're dirty.
So there's,
how
do you say it? I can't even.
The
wine, thank you.
Compensation?
No.
Compartmentalized?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So you have to turn off your brain and see him as a dick and, like, a literal penis. Well, and then afterwards you turn it back on and he's your friend.
Well,
he was only my friend when we hung out during that, and then we would go like a week or longer. Like, I don't know, he's my friend when we're together.
So okay, so I can kind of add to that a little bit. In the instances that I've had where I've had friends with benefits, I don't know. I can say the term friends with benefits, but it really I want to underemphasize the word friends. I don't know how much I was actually friends with them.
Acquaintance or peer?
So
yeah, okay, so maybe acquaintance with benefits.
I agree with that. Other than this one instinct that because of that, like I think where you're going is.
So I have had a friend who I would sleep with fairly regularly. Like if I got dumped or something like that, I knew I could call upon this friend just to
get your dick wet.
Do the thing, hang out, if you will. You're like, I won't. If you will, hang out. So and I considered her a friend because I also would contact her if I was like, hey, do you want to go watch a movie? or whatever. Like there
Yeah.
was a few things here and there we would go do, but then usually it was like, let's go back to my apartment. Now I also have had a few people that I know that I could have called upon for the booty call, that I wouldn't say I was friends with. I mean, I would say like if they ever watched the show and they heard me say I don't think that we were friends, that might hurt their feelings. Maybe they considered us more friends, but I don't know how much we really had in common.
I feel like a booty call is different than a friends with
Oh,
benefits.
for sure. Do you have a person that you would have hung out with at a different time, not to bone? But you have called on them to be basically a booty call, and it's fine, and you guys go back to being normal friends afterwards.
It was a mutual thing where they knew as well that we weren't really gonna go anywhere. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
That if I was out,
I could never break down that wall.
I
feel
was
so
out like
stupid. Like I can never break
No,
down
don't
that
feel
wall.
stupid.
No,
it's just
don't.
people are different.
It's just don't feel stupid at
People
all.
are different.
And I do have like a hard time sometimes, like,
Because I feel so vulnerable when I have sex with a person that it's like, I don't want to walk around being friends with a person who knows what I look like naked. Like, I don't know. It's weird to me.
ooh, when I have sex with someone, I feel like really like empowered. Like I'm like, like
I do not
they
feel
wanted-
empowered when I have sex.
they wanted to see me naked, and then we did it, and I feel good about it, and I'm a strong woman, and I can set my agenda, and I don't have to talk to him if I don't want to. Like I go in this whole
There
thing.
is some power making a dude just
I wish
blow his load on you. Like,
I wish there was I wish Nathan was here because he says this best, but I will steal this from him. It's the whole thing of the naked thing. So like I go to a beach, I don't take off my shirt. I go to like a public pool, I don't take off my shirt. But the bedroom, I go all in. It's like and Nathan says it best. It's like you've already gotten past like all these barriers that have like led to our bedroom. Like at that point, like I'm all in. I don't care. Like this is what you've chosen this life.
Oh, I agree with that. Like I would say like technically I'm like a never nude. Like I don't really like hanging out naked. I don't really get like really slate. But
either.
when it's like behind closed doors in like my room and my space, I'm like, hello.
I still, even when
Yeah, like I'm the sexiest person in there.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Behind
Like
the door.
look at me.
me and Derek go swimming all the time in clothes, like because
wear
we're
clothes.
both very. I mean, I'm uncomfortable.
I am too, yeah.
I'm pale as
I wear
fuck
shirts
for
and-
one, and I'm gonna get a sunburn if I take off my clothes. But
You've
also,
seen me at the beach. I wear shirts.
yeah, and then also it's just like even in the bedroom though, like to get real personal.
Benjamin's like boom.
Well,
for
in
me.
the bedroom for me, you always have to like talk me into taking off my
That's true.
bra.
That is true.
And I'm like, no, it's sex. Look at my sexy bra.
And
Look
I'm
at
like,
my sexy
yeah, it'd be
bra.
even better on the floor.
And I'm like, but look at it. It's so cute.
But I'm
It
like-
holds my boobs
I'm like,
up.
but
It's
Yes!
got a purpose.
Thank you. I mean, I'm like
But
trying
at
to
a
remind him.
but
I'm
at a
like, look
certain
how
point-
perky my boobs look in
But
this
it's a certain
bra.
point, though.
I know. I've actually had like
It's a
to
life
get
we chose.
into the incel thing, real quick, which define incels.
Well,
We've-
we brushed on it in the last episode, but or whatever, involuntary celibate.
Yeah.
It's,
There,
but
I've
they've
actually
also
had an
hit, like, monk
incel type
status.
person tell me how bras are deceiving,
Sure.
and he's like, I get so
Well,
pissed
yeah,
when I
depending
see.
on yeah.
He's like, I get so pissed when I see women with bras that like are push-up bras and it lifts their boobs up, and then I get them in the sack and I take their bra off and their boobs sag to the fucking floor.
Well, don't they
And I'm
say
like,
the same garbage about women with makeup on too?
Yes,
Yes.
they say the same thing about makeup. They say the same thing about girdles. They say the same
It's
thing
because
about
that's the
fucking
life
Spanx.
we live in. Like the women think they need to do this, and then we did it, and then we feel like we betrayed everyone afterwards. So
No, I mean, sometimes I just want to look fucking good, and it doesn't mean like,
I don't think it's bad. I think we should, but I feel like
oh, well, like when you get into the
Like,
bedroom and like you take all this
people
shit off,
like
and
are
then
like,
the
you
guys
need to
are
do all
like,
these things. You need to wear
"Ugh."
this makeup. You need this, and then you do it, and you do feel good. But then when it like comes off, then that person looks at you weird, or you see a shitty meme, and you're like, oh god, that was me. Like when I do take my makeup off, I do look different, and we shouldn't feel that way. We should feel like, yeah, that's me with makeup, and that's me without. Like that's who
Has
I am.
a friends
either
with
way.
benefits ever confronted you about any of that?
No, never.
Well, that's good, because that means they're your real friend.
I've never had like, but also, even if they're not my friend, like the person we're friends with benefits is like, they're with me to like.
This is the world we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're with me because they find, like, they're there for the same purpose I am. Like, they're there to have a good time, to
Get the
feel,
rocks off.
Yeah, and to, like, feel good, and that's what it is. And no one's been like, girl, maybe you should, like, not wear the makeup, or, like, wear the makeup while we do it. Like, no one's ever said it. But no man has ever really said that to me, other than, hold up, I'm gonna tell you guys this story.
Ooh, I love trash
tell
talking.
you this story.
I love trash
So my friend
talking.
Thomas, I think he's watching. One time,
Shout out to Thomas.
my boy Thomas, who I love and is my best friend now. He's just so great. I love him. Anyways, though, I'm gonna give him this shit. So in middle school, when I like discovered makeup as like a thing, and my stepmom was like,
You were just digging in the dirt one day and you found like a
Yeah.
MAC kit. Like,
that is probably what happened. Like I was like, well, what's this compact? And they're like,
I want to be wet and wild.
yeah. And my stepmom's like, okay, girl, let me show you how you do it. And so she like put all this makeup on me, just so like
thick.
just so much makeup, but not even good. And I don't think she's she doesn't do, like, I would never look at her and be like, your makeup's bad. Her makeup always looks good, but doing the makeup you do on a 35-year-old woman is different than what you do on makeup on a 12-year-old girl. And so I'm in school, and me and Thomas, so I played the tenor saxophone, and he played the trombone, we were in band, and he looked at me one day and got really, really close to my face, and was just like, do you powder your face? And I was just humiliated at the fact, like, he knows. Because I thought in my mind, like, if I put makeup on, they'll just think this is what I look like. And I was like, he knows. Oh, God. Like, and I was just like, no.
Just start sweating.
I 100% put powder on my face that day. And I was mortified, and I've never put powder on my face since. So, thank you, Thomas. My
I
skin's
love
great
powder.
now.
I had somebody, I don't know if this is related, but I did have somebody apologize. This was like kind of a weird thing.
About the makeup you wore?
No, she apologized when she took off her shirt
Oh.
because of like the size of the boobies.
Like, they're too small, too big, not...
Too small to her.
Boobs are boobs, man.
But I'm
I love
Equal
tiny
opportunity.
titties.
I'm
man.
like a
Equal opportunity is perfect.
yeah. Oh yeah, I would
Yeah.
say the full
Oh, yeah.
range.
Yeah, it's a boob. One boob is fine.
But people
No boobs. Big boobs.
The show I like to quote a lot is Boston Legal. It has James Spader on there, and he plays
Love that guy.
Alan Shore. He plays and they're like, what kind of women are you into? And he says, it's one of the best lines ever. He's just like, I'm just into women.
Yeah.
Like
That is
and I loved that quote because I was like, man, that's kind of me. Like, if you look, I mean, Bree's seen pictures of past girlfriends I've had and stuff, and none of them are alike.
None of them look anything
That's how I
alike.
feel about
You don't
men.
have
Like,
a type.
I'm just into a man.
I don't have a type.
I'm
It's
into
just-
both. I'm into any. I mean, I'm
You're into
technically.
humans.
Pansexual is probably
Not
the
dogs.
best word for it.
Humans.
I'm just into.
Yeah, no dogs.
I'm attracted to who I'm attracted to.
Mhm.
So it's not necessarily and while I have not I have not performed any homosexual things at all.
You can appreciate a good-looking
But
man.
I definitely like can see a guy and be like, that's a good looking guy. And
I would like to think
And
that
if
you're
you- and if
man
you-
enough to, and you're comfortable enough with your sexuality to compliment a man too.
sure, and I do
If
all
he
the
looks
time.
good, if he looks good, and you,
I do
you
too.
see
I
it-
just told Zach last week on our show because we Skyped together to do a sports program. I said, Zach, your eyes are really popping right now on the show. I feel like I'm getting lost in them.
And I want all people to be able to just feel comfortable, just be like, to just compliment one another and just be like,
It's-
you are, like, I love
It's
your
so-
eyes. I love your
exactly.
hair. Like, it doesn't matter anything about the gender or whatever. It's just literally like, do you look at that human and think like, I find you appealing to my eyesight? Like,
Yeah.
Well, I would
It's-
say
For me, I feel uncomfortable complimenting girls sometimes because it's a personal thing. I feel like when somebody compliments me, I get really uncomfortable.
Yeah, and do the
And I'm like, I deflect it because I'm like, I wasn't expecting it. So I'm just like, oh, no. Like, like denying it.
You're not good at
But
receiving
I
compliments.
hate compliments.
I think that's for a lot of people. I'm not good at receiving things, but
I forget
don't
to
think
say
it's
thank you. I forget to say thank you.
and just saying like, oh, thank you, or something instead of just shutting it down. And I think we need to be just building everyone up and say that.
For
but
sure.
Everyone
it's
on
easy
the
to
other
give
side,
men compliments. At my work, I work with a lot of men, and I'll be like, hey, man, you did a really good job today. You really kicked ass today. Like, or, hey, thanks for doing that, but I work with only two women, and I never give them compliments, and I feel like a piece of shit for that. Because, they do good work, too. And I don't know. I need to get better about complimenting women. And I do throw out compliments sometimes, like, oh, you have a really nice blouse on right now.
I know we're really sidetracking about this. I saw the best thing the other day. Someone posted, and it was like, normally when I see girls, I'm like, hey, girl, you looking good. You looking so cute. You looking whatever. But they're like, and it said, like, we should stop using those, like, saying like that. We should just be like, you did really good at your job today. Like, you are strong.
Oh, you
today.
mean like not complimenting
like,
on looks
in appearance,
and stuff.
Yeah, and we need to compliment on just, like, how they are. And I was like, that is really true. And I read it and I felt, it really resonated with me. And I think we do need, and that's not even with women. Men, too, just like compliment.
Oh,
just, like,
I'm quick to be, with men at work, I never compliment them on their looks because I feel like that's inappropriate.
Yeah, at work, that'd be weird.
But like with men at work, I'm always like, dang, dude, you did a really good job today. Way to kick butt. But with the women at my work, who honestly I never work with anyways, like I don't work close to them, but I should compliment them more.
Yeah.
And be like, or, and
I don't think
since they're
on looks
older,
is...
so not like to throw this, like not like to like throw shade at older people, but they're older than me, like in their 40s and 50s. I should throw them a bone with the looks thing because they do look good at work,
And I don't think complimenting with looks is bad in any way. Like, I feel great when someone tells me I look great, but we should also, like, compliment
you
on
always
all...
look great.
But
so.
it is true. Like, I feel like women compliment women on their looks more than, like you said, but when it comes to men, we'll compliment them on their actions. And, like, reverse that in both ways, because men need to be complimented on their looks more, and women need to be complimented on their actions. Like, I think we need to switch
Sandra,
it
you
do
did a really
both.
good job with the report that you turned in last week. And also, them titties are just really popping today.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
okay, so I feel a little jaded about this because I think that women building up other women on looks is a good idea because we seem to get more compliments from men about our looks.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
a woman being like, "You look really beautiful today," and not in like a cheesy, creepy way, is a good thing. A woman complimenting another woman on their looks can be perceived as either really passive. I kind of sometimes take it sarcastically, like, "Why are you calling me out on?"
But
how
I think
look?
that's our
like,
self.
It's definitely self-confidence
And
thing.
is that we're like, when we feel lower or we don't know this person or whatever, so you're like, do you have an ulterior motive? Like, why?
I'd struggle with
and
it
that's
all
such a
the
bad
time.
thing because really genuinely they could just be like, you do like
and I can never I have a hard time telling when somebody's being genuine or when somebody's using sarcasm, so I automatically jump to the negative, which is usually sarcasm or so I have a hard time with that personally, but that's just me. And I try to take everything people say seriously, which can be obviously bad because sometimes they're joking and I don't know. And I work with a bunch of shithead people like that are always using sarcasm, so it's hard when I leave work to know when somebody's not being sarcastic.
Yeah, just being
it's weird, like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it other than like I just struggle with telling sarcasm from not sarcasm because Derek is so good at it. Well, he's so good at sarcasm with just a straight face and I'm like, are you joking right now? Like, are you not joking?
I do that too. Like, I feel like I keep a real straight face, but also I hang out with people that are so sarcastic, and my first instinct is, even if someone compliments me or says anything to me, my instant response is sarcasm. And, like, with other people, my response, or, like, what I want to give them is sarcasm. I'm like, I need to not do
And these are all things that you can struggle with having a friends with benefits because you're not necessarily, like, the commitment isn't there. You guys are just, like, cool bro friends, like, so compliments are... I think that they should be in any relationship, even when you're friends with benefits, but...
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, because if you're getting naked in front of a person, they should respect you just as much as they should respect you.
Have
as
you
if
ever
were in
had
a-
somebody make an offhand comment about something that maybe they were just trying to joke about, but like you took it super seriously and it actually hurt your feelings?
Oh,
In bed, maybe?
Not no. Not
Like,
that I
it's
can
hard
think
to
of where
recall.
We're like but I'm sure there's been moments where like someone makes a comment about like who I am as a person, but not any point where I was like intimate with a person and they said something that I can think of. But I was thinking, because you were talking about like drawing a line between like friends with benefits and not friends with benefits.
Like an actual friend or just like a not friend?
Like, well, you were saying like how you couldn't do it because you want to have a long-term relationship. So like,
Yeah, that's my ultimate goal is
Yeah.
to just like find the person I'm going to marry.
So I 100% that like if I'm going to date someone, like it's because I potentially want to spend time with them. But I also think that people benefit and feel better and feel healthier when they are having sex. And I think so for me, I feel like that's a good benefit. So when you were saying like explain to you, like I think having sex with someone and like releasing all those chemicals and all those things in your brain, like it's really beneficial. So that is a benefit to this. Like you're
relieving stress.
I call it
Yes.
I call it releasing the poison.
Yep, there you go.
For me, I was always, so I was raised in a pretty religious family where sex has always been really negative, or just, like the virginity of a woman is very sacred and that kind of stuff. Well, that backfired for everyone in my family. For me, 15, whatever. But I still kind of kept that in my brain. So I was always really scared of sex too, because I was scared that sleeping around would eventually cause me to get an STD or get pregnant or something.
Well,
something would backfire.
Yeah, like
That's
we
an unfair thought.
Yeah.
We should throw out there, like, if you're going to have a friends with benefits, you should assume that they also have other friends with benefits, so you should probably be safe.
So one of the things, saying that is a lot of people think that, and I do think what I just said is people benefit from having sex and like in a lot of different ways other than just the like feel good moment at that moment. But you have to be smart and you have to be educated and you have to be open and honest and like so also with having friends with benefits, you have to be really honest in a way of like
what are your rules?
Yeah, and what are you doing with other people? So I recently had a friend that like we knew each other from high school and then like we kind of drifted apart and then we came back together. And we've always had like an off and on attraction to one another, but like it was always like someone was dating someone. So nothing happened. Well, then we were both single. So then it was like we're doing things.
Testing the waters.
Yeah, but we weren't dating. But one of the like first things I said was if we're not going to date and we're not going to commit to each other, like we have to, if one of us is going to sleep with someone else, we have to tell each other. And not because we're going to be jealous or mad.
That's courteous.
Yeah, but because we're going to do it for our health. And that's why and so when like he slept with another person first before, and like he told me, and we were looking for Derek's paper towels. Oh, I didn't know what we were talking about.
I'm gonna throw it.
So, anyways, so he did. He was like, it was really weird and uncomfortable to be that first one to be like.
But you should always go over boundaries.
Yeah,
and
like
rules, and
because it was set up so early. It's like if we're we're not gonna commit to each other. And that's fine. That's what we're accepting. But we have to be open with each other. So when he did, like, he had to tell me, he's like, so remember when I went to this place? Like, and he told me it was weird, but I was like, okay, thank you for telling me.
What are your views on condoms?
Important.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I've always been a raw dogger, which is nasty saying that out loud. But, like, that's because I'm always, like,
Like, you prefer to have sex without a condom?
Well, I never... Yeah, because I imagine myself marrying the person, and that's my ultimate goal. And I'm very upfront with people. I'm like, listen, I don't date people unless there's a long-term relationship in the future. Like I don't, and that's really, really not smart. Like,
no,
not smart. But I've also. I think
that is smart. That's what I do.
No, I mean the not condom thing.
Oh, okay.
So,
I thought you meant just telling people like your emotion. I was like,
no. My intention. I tell them my intention. But as far as the no condoms things go, that's very, very dumb of me. because you never know. People could be lying, and
Or
the pregnancy thing was what I was getting to. Is like, do you tell them like what your views are, and you expect them to have the same opinion as you? It was like, I know I dated briefly a guy who was like adamantly against abortion, like a very Christian conservative guy. Looking back at it, like he was a huge piece of shit. Anyways, he was against abortion, but not me getting an abortion if I ever got pregnant, basically.
Okay.
So, I think that's a really important thing to talk about. If, like the potential things that could happen. Have you ever talked to your friends with benefits? Like, if this happens, it's my body and my choice ultimately, but what needs to happen, like what do you want to happen kind of thing? And are you okay with these? It's weird coming from a girl, like a girl's perspective is like, it's ultimately my choice what happens, but I don't know. And then there's also like, there's STDs and pregnancies that happen sometimes with friends with benefits that you need to go over.
So I think it's important to go over like sexual health and like all these things. So that's why like having sex with another person, I felt was important. We disclose that because we need to be proactive and like if I've been tested and they've been tested, but then that person that they had it.
And how do you just trust them, or do you want them to bring paperwork with them? Like,
well, I've never asked for paperwork, but
absolutely would not work for me.
What about consent? You don't ask for paperwork on consent? No? I'm just kidding.
We've had the conversation, though. So for me, little TMI probably, but I have a hard time performing well. Yes. I have a hard time performing well when I feel like I know it's coming. When I know the event is coming. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the whole.
I know you've always been the type of person. You've told me from the very beginning you have a very hard time with planning out sex, which is not ideal for me always because I'm the type of person who likes to be like, "Hey man, let's just do it tonight." And you like spontaneous sex.
Spontaneity. I feel like we've been doing all right with it.
Yeah, I think so. It's a good healthy mix now.
Let's take a 1 second break where I can turn on the microphones.
Okay.
1 second break, everyone.
Doop 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 doop.
Thank you. I'm back. For our listener.
He had to fart. I'm just kidding.
No, I don't.
I'm just kidding.
For whatever reason, my sinuses have decided to go nuts right now.
It's everywhere, man. The sinuses, the colds, everything. It's everywhere.
My sinuses have decided to go crazy right now.
All right, I need your approval. I'm sorry. I need your approval right now. Is my bathroom okay? Is it clean? Because I sort of halfway cleaned it today. And I'm always, like, freaking out cleaning my house before you come over because I'm all like, gotta clean. Gotta make sure Caitlin doesn't see how dirty we are.
It's the most exciting time of the week for me that she...
I know, I anxious clean.
It's great because the house looks awesome after.
It was clean and there was no poop in the toilet bowl.
Yay.
God damn it, I tried to leave it in there for you.
It wasn't dirty around the toilet base.
No, you didn't flush that dump that you just took, though, did you?
Oh, no, I left that for you guys to look at later.
Yeah,
good. Don't you dare flush that dump. You know I can't dump unless there's the dump in there. I finally
right,
get to do that on the show.
You have to come over here and fart in my mouth.
You have to come over here and fart in my mouth so I can take a dump now. That is a bit that our friend Jared does.
Oh, shout out to Jared. I love you and I miss you, and we need to hang out soon.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so can I tell a little bit about my...
Friendy with Bendy?
Yeah, my friendies with Bendies. So first off, I had the friend that actually was like a friend. She actually used to live in the building that I lived in.
Briar Building.
She lived on the same floor.
Shout out to beautiful downtown Lewiston.
Right, and it was kind of a situation where we like rode up on the elevator together a few times. We would just like start chatting, and then boom, scissoring.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it took a little bit of time. It was I had also run into her a few other places, and then you know, we lived in the same building. We would just get to chatting, and then after a while, it was like she like kind of came over randomly and knocked on my door and was like, "Hey, would you want to hang out?"
That's like straight up rom-com, like just knocking on your door.
She lived right across the hall.
Oh, is this before text message?
No.
I'm so sorry, you guys. My sinuses are just like right now they're acting up.
It's me, I know.
All right.
You're
So-
allergic to us.
Yeah.
She came over and knocked on my door though, and asked if I wanted to hang out, you know, and I mean actually asked if I actually wanted to hang out, and I was like, yeah, like that's cool. I was actually watching hockey, you know, and that's kind of what I did after work.
I really now I just want to boomerang Derek sneezing. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna have this ready. So if it happens again, the folks of
I'm
the
not gonna lie,
gram-
you might get about 7 more of them.
Good. That's what I need because I'm gonna need 7 before I pick one that I like. So
One with the silliest face. I should probably have my mic up to my face when I
okay,
talk.
keep talking about the lady.
Anyway,
lady from
Labia?
The lady
So
from the
she-
elevator.
she was pretty cool, nice gal. I mean, cute, super cute. Little Latino flavor. It's pretty good.
A little flare.
Jealous.
Good cook too, man. She would make me dinner a few times too, like make.
This isn't even a stereotype, but all Mexicans can cook amazing food.
And actually, every single meal that she made was from Mexico. I think she's from like, I think she lived in California, and then like came up to go to school here. So she lived in the building. A lot of college students live in that building. And so she would make dinner, and that's kind of how it started. She would be like, hey, like because she at first she got my number because on the floor that I lived, I was one of the people that could get access to people's rooms because I could get a key, like a master key.
Creepy.
Well, it's because
I'm just kidding.
Because people get locked out.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You don't have to justify it. I got it. I was just
Well,
kidding.
so what they do is they if people get locked out of the rooms all the time. I mean, the doors automatically lock usually unless you change that.
Yep.
So you walk out into the hall and your door shuts automatically because it has one of those spring-loaded shutters, and it shuts behind you, and you're like, "Fuck!" So somebody would knock on my door, and then I'm like, "Hey, do you have a key?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I had only had it like temporarily while the person who had it had hip surgery. She was usually an older gal who lived in the building for like 20 years. And I was the second person that had lived in the building the longest. I was there for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I had her key. She knocks on my door. I let her in. She's like, "Man, it's awesome that you live like right across the hall." And then she added my number. She's like, "This happens actually all the time." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Then she started like kind of randomly coming over to my apartment to like ask different questions. I could kind of tell she was like,
Just like, I just want to talk to you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also with your dick in my mouth.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't like, you know, it was like, "Can I borrow a cup of sugar?" You know, like, like, okay, I don't have sugar in here. You've seen how many beer cans are around. Like, you know what my life is. And of course, my living room was a TV for a whatever football game or basketball game was on, and then I had a TV for video games or whatever else, right? Kind of like our setup now.
Yeah,
it's
just your life.
Well, I finally
Forever.
both of those TVs were in here for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
but I finally talked her into letting me bring the one out so we could turn this into the podcast room.
Because it benefited her. That's why she was like, yeah, let's move the TV out.
She got used to it though. It was actually we did it for Red Dead.
We did it for my birthday.
Yeah, we did it for her birthday so we can play
Oh,
Red
my
Dead
birthday's
Redemption
this month.
together.
I'm just going to say that for the
I
next...
already know. I've already Facebook stalked the fuck out of you, so...
I'm just going to keep...
I already have your gifts. So.
Anyone talks about March, I'm like, it's my birthday month. Only 26 days till I turn 28. Okay.
Happy
continue.
birthday though.
Thank you.
For sure.
So anyway, what day is it your actual birthday?
29th.
And that is a
Friday. I'm going to have a party. You guys want to come?
Boom!
Because
I'm
you're invited.
definitely going to show up, even
Yeah?
if you don't invite
I haven't
us.
decided my theme, which is why I haven't created a Facebook event.
It's a Friday.
You should do...
So what would that
Herbs, so I can bring
what would that
weed.
following Sunday be?
31st.
So we should do a birthday show.
Fuck yeah,
That'd be
bro.
fantastic.
Let's make cake.
And
Let's
then the
make cake.
1st, it's my mom's birthday, April Fool's.
What?
Oh, you didn't warn me. I was going to boomerang you.
There's no warning with a sneeze.
Well, the other one, you're like, I think it's going to happen.
You just have to
Sometimes
boomerang him all
there
the
is.
time.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
just
so
be
sorry, you
constantly
guys.
just-
This is a thing that happens.
Oh. Okay, it's going to happen. It's
Sneeze,
going to happen.
sneeze, sneeze.
Oh, yeah, I got it. I'll post that for our listeners.
Perfect. Okay, so...
But yes.
So she was the friend that I had with benefits because we actually would hang out and watch TV, and she made me dinner.
Yeah,
a few
yeah,
times,
hang out.
but we never asked each other on dates. It was never like a thing.
Public thing. It was
Yeah, it was just like
it's an intimate at home thing.
And it was kind of weird. I mean, like sometimes I would like get a Tinder date and then come home and like ride up the elevator with her, and I mean, she knew what was going on, and I knew what was going on, and then it would be like, well, have a good night, random stranger on this elevator.
That we don't know, but we do.
And then, you know, of course, there would be a couple occasions where the girl I rode up on the elevator with was like, who's that? And I'm like, oh, just a friend from the building. Just a friend from my building.
Yeah, just
Nice gal, huh? Anyway, so that was my friend with benefits. The other one actually frequents the bar that we all like. And
Hergens.
yes. And that is, for the longest time, was one of the weirder ones, just because...
Kinky or weird?
Just weird because I went to the bar, and so did she, and people there, I mean, they knew that we had, and they also knew that she had with several other people there. So it was just kind of weird because
So she's like a pass the torch type person?
I mean, except for she, I would say that except for I think she was just holding a lot of torches.
Okay.
Because she was pretty regular.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
You can do whatever you want.
She was pretty regular with a lot of the people there.
How come I never got to boner?
I don't think you were hanging out there at the time.
Because I was under 21? Was I under 21?
Nope, this is more recent than you think.
Oh, like 2 days
damn.
ago?
No, like 2 years
Okay.
ago. Anyway, still, I would consider her a friend with benefits because we would hang out and watch like some shows afterwards. But then there was one time where she had stayed the night, and I've told this joke in stand up where I was like, so Bree knows I'm an early riser. I get up super early to start my day, and this person was like sleeping in at my place, and I was like, I just kind of came in, and I was like, you gotta go.
You gotta get up, man.
Like, I got shit to do. Like, you gotta go home. I'll give you a ride to your car. Like, you gotta go though. Really? I gotta go. I'm like, yeah. I gotta wash laundry. I gotta get ready for work. You know, it's a Saturday night, so it's Sunday. I'm like, you gotta go home. Like,
Gotta get ready for your week.
I gotta get ready for the week. Like, you're done. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You know, it's like closing down the bar at my house. Now the other instances I've had though are more of the acquaintances with benefits though, where it is more of the booty call.
That's closer
thing.
to a booty call then.
Yeah.
I feel like there is a difference.
There is.
Yeah. Because of the booty call, it's like, I'm here for one thing. We're going to do it and we're going to leave.
Yeah. Like
one of us is going to leave.
Like you'll be here, then you go home.
Yep.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. But with friends with benefit, at least in my world, in my imagination, it's like there is a difference because you talk a little bit or you watch a movie or you play games or whatever it is. It's usually behind closed doors. You're not usually doing it out in public, like in a more relationship-y way, but you still have a connection with this person. You're just not making it a official relationship connection. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, in most cases, it was like, I didn't necessarily want to be seen with them, and it wasn't because I was embarrassed by them or anything, but it was more so, like, and this probably makes me not sound great, but I'm looking for someone.
Oh, so did you ever when you were with, so you mentioned like being on a Tinder date, but when you were with a person that you were just, they were your friends with benefits, did you ever talk to them about like dating people? Did that ever, because that is also interesting too. So I've had that experience with multiple people where it's like, oh, I've got this crush on this guy, or oh, I found this guy on Tinder, or oh, there's, you know, like this. And it's like, I'm so open, like I'm literally talking to them like I'm their friend. So I'm talking about like another person that I'm trying to hook up with or date or whatever. Usually date. I'm talking to, but it's weird that I could have that like open of a conversation with them. Just be like, yeah, what do you think I should do?
Yeah, and I there's a few of them that I would talk to about it. I was pretty open about that, you know, I'm looking for other people, and I mean, they mostly knew.
Well, that's the other thing. I think you should be open, because
they
like,
know that I'm on Tinder. I'm still using it. I'm not.
Well, and like Bree said, like ultimately when I actually date someone, I am truly looking for someone to be with long term, and I feel like I extend that to everyone that is in my life, so they know that information. So it'd be like, hey, if someone comes up in my life that I'm going to pursue in a more like long term, like this will end. Know that this will end when I'm doing that. So I don't know. Gotta be open.
Yeah,
Open
I mean, I
and
think
honest.
it's fair. I think it's fair. You got to be honest with them. I do feel like there has been instances where maybe I liked somebody more than they liked me, or vice versa, and I'd hoped that maybe it was more, or vice versa.
Yeah, or it would kind of turn into that because of your thing with them. Because I've had that where I'm just like, well, I really like them. I know we've established these grounds, but also maybe I like them more. But I have a hard time because I'll sometimes get that confused and think like, oh, I think I maybe like them more than just what we're doing. But Derek sneezing will not allow us to date. He keeps, but I just feel like, and then I think this, and then I have to like pull Caitlin back and be like, girl, you know this person, like, you know these, like, we can't date them. That's not what we're here for.
What's the one thing that makes you know you can't date a person when you meet them or see them, or like what's the one thing that's like, oh, well, I can't date this person? For me, it's like how they treat their mom or how they treat a waitress when we're out and about.
Those are super important things. I always look for how they treat the wait staff when we're at a restaurant or a bar or wherever. How they treat their mom. How they talk about themselves sometimes. Which I know that's really hard because I don't want to be like, because I have anxiety and depression and I've, you know, had self-confidence issues. But how they talk about themselves sometimes can be a really bad turnoff.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's the same for women, too. I'm sure, like, when you're on a date, you want to be your best self. You don't always want to, like, if you're having a bad day, just say no to the date. If you're feeling bad about yourself, like, just say no. And that way, when you're on the date, they don't see the worst of you yet, you know? Because I think confidence really is key.
Or, like, the other thing for me is, like, and I try not to be, like, I'm going to compare myself to people because I hate one-uppers, that I hate that kind of stuff. But I've been dealt a lot of awful cards in my life. Like, growing up, a lot of shitty cards. But I work so hard to, like, remain positive and, like, I love my friends. I love my job. I, like, do these things and try to talk about that in a positive light. Or if, like, something shitty happens, I try to talk about it, but then, and maybe this is just because of how I grew up and who I am, but I then turn it into a joke. So I'm, like, really mad or really upset, and I turn it into a joke. But talking to someone who's just negative, that's a huge turnoff for me. That instantly will be like, nope, because I do.
Not only just negative about themselves, but negative
about
everything.
Everything. Negativity really, really that is one of the biggest things that turns me off. It's just like being so negative about all aspects of life and themselves or other people or whatever it may be.
And that's kind of my kryptonite because I actually am very negative about a lot of things. So, that's
but I think it's how you portray it because I think I am too. But I think it's the way I flip it and then like make it into a joke or laugh.
Really matters,
but when you're initially meeting someone,
you gotta
don't just rag on everything.
Hold it down for a little bit.
Yeah, like, and then when you get to, because I think when I'm with someone and I'm like really know them, whether it's a friend or a relationship, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you this because I'm really upset or I'm really sad because I really do go through a lot of anxiety and depression. but I work really hard not to have that be my first impression and my outward thing. So when other people have that, for me, I don't know, it's really hard.
I'm
I
a
just
really
can't.
like low energy person, so when me and Derek first started going on dates and stuff, I think I translated that into a little bit of sarcasm or teasing and stuff, so I didn't come off as negative.
Yeah. It's
And
like,
Derek was automatically just he had his entertainer hat on, so he was constantly trying to make me laugh and like trying to entertain me, which was really good for a first date. So it was like he was trying to entertain and I was trying to like turn it back on him and like tease and be sarcastic. But
It works sometimes.
Yeah, we're both very negative people, I think. I mean, not to like rag on us, but we can be sassy bitches and
I'm always a little salty.
Yeah, salty is a good word for
so
it.
Chaz said when he talked to you at Brewfest was one of the best, and I think I talked about that part. But when we talked more about it, he told me one of the best things he liked was because he talked about you, or talked with you, but about like how you both are like little salty bitches. Because he lives with two women, and he loves that he gets to like be...
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah, so he loves that he gets... And then when you talked about that on the show, why you seeked out a group of women, he was like, fuck, I relate to that.
That's how the conversation came up, is because he was talking about that situation, how I seeked out
Lady friends.
My Scissor Me Timbers group. That just a group of women that I just wanted to be like salty bitch with, instead of being like normal. Like,
and there's nothing wrong with that. I
there
think that there's like this culture of people, which God bless them, because if I believed in God, God bless them. They exist for a reason. The type of people that are like, you got to be more positive, and you can't bring people down, and very PC people that are like always positive. But then you forget that sometimes it's healthy. Sometimes.
So
to vent and be salty bitches.
And maybe that's
there's nothing wrong with that, I don't think.
No.
I mean, but there's people are so quick to jump down your throat, like, oh, you need to be more positive. And it's like, if I have a group of people that's fine with me bitching about this certain thing or this certain person, I'm kind of going to gravitate toward them. And I feel bad for it, but I'm not going to feel bad for it when I'm with them.
And maybe that's a great way to end the Friends with Benefits conversation, because I would say that the one version of Friends with Benefits that we did not cover would be my Friends with Benefits, which are Katie and
your benefits and not the sexual way.
Julianne and Sammy Wants, is that they are my Friends with Benefits, but my benefits are not sexual. My benefits is that I get to be a version of myself that I don't typically get to be with other people.
Yeah. They're accepting of it, which is super refreshing.
Which is another thing.
So they're my friends.
Yeah.
Instead of walking on eggshells, trying to be the best version of yourself all the time, you can kind of let yourself go and just be like, man, like, look at that foot.
I need a whole episode of non-sexual Friends with Benefits.
Maybe we should talk about that. Because Jared, who is one of my best friends,
is one of my friends with benefits, if we're talking about that. Because we don't... Like,
because you get to be a version of yourself.
Politically, we don't agree at all. We are the exact opposites, and he brings out the side of me that's okay with making fun of the people on my side.
Yeah,
and it's awesome. It's so great.
Or they just, I have some friends like that where it's when we get together, I get to be a whole different me that's like really me deep down, but it's not the person I get to like.
Or just like the ratchet version of you, where you're just like, you don't give a fuck.
Tell us more about that, Derek.
Maybe not necessarily a deep-seated version of yourself, but maybe one of the deep-seated versions of yourself.
Yeah, or it's like
a version that you're not, because we're in a political environment where we're so divided where you have to be on one side or the other. And when you're around somebody who's okay with you kind of coming to their side for a little bit, and not in like a bad way, not in like a white cap or like a red cap,
or you would just be honest, like tell them the weirdest things about you, where you're like, I'm gonna tell you this because I know that you're not gonna judge me, and I can be really freaky or really inappropriate or really mean because it's like, this is a thought in my brain and I need to say it out loud, whatever that is. And some friends are and
my co-host on Basement Boys, Ward Eduardo. I text stuff to him that I would never tweet or say out loud to a lot of people,
Yeah.
but are funny. They're funny jokes, and it's like Basement Boys one style of jokes where it's like shock value humor, where it's just like horrific. I just text it to him, and he's cool with it. And I call him. I'm like it's a different kind of releasing the poison, where it's like I got this poison in my heart that'll eventually turn into stomach cancer, but when I'm talking to him, it's like it's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice to be able to be like say some of the jokes that I've said that I would have loved to have said. It's like jokes that I think of that I would have loved to have said when I was a comedian when I was 22.
But the time isn't right now.
But the time's done.
Yeah.
But the jokes are still funny. It's just I can't say it. I'm not famous enough to say it.
Nobody benefits from it besides yourself. Sometimes there's jokes out there that are just like, you know, it only brings other people down. So
right, and it's like the thing I was talking to him today. It was like kind of something that would like perpetuate like violence against people. I mean, I'll say what it was is because I won't throw anything else in there. But what the joke was is like a March Madness bracket of like punchable faces, which is funny.
Pick people who you would love to punch in the face.
like figures, political figures, whoever.
I have so many. I can fill that
Sure,
board.
like just people with like punchable faces,
Yeah.
right? So and I just made jokes about
my
who,
list would
like,
not be very, very nice.
like who might.
Nobody can make a nice list.
No,
no,
and that's the
it's not
point
a
of it.
nice
Yeah,
list.
it's not a
I
nice
just could
list.
build it really fast.
Like, and I had a lot of jokes about like who my top 1 and 2 seeds are, and it's a bit I would love to do on a show, or I'd love to do for my stand up, but I just don't really want to.
The moment you pick any women, though, man,
Right.
it gets hairy.
And I do have women on the list. That's why
Well,
I can't be
yeah,
like
punch
nah.
women, punch men, punch them all.
I don't know.
Well, and
man.
I feel like I was
a
like
man picking a bunch
like
of
I
women
was being
to punch.
fair.
Yeah, in that sense, if Derek was doing
It's like most
no,
of the
but that's
people
the thing
pick
is
are
I did
women.
have
Yeah.
women on the list.
Yeah.
Because it was just like
Equality.
it was an equal opportunity punch facing list.
Yeah, like
It wasn't big,
I respect you, so I'm putting you on this list.
It's like, look, I respect you as a woman, and I also respect that your face is goddamn punchable.
And you are number 3.
But it's a joke. It's a joke I don't want to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
can't do it. But I texted to him about the whole logistics of it. And I told Bree about it this morning.
was funny.
And it's a funny joke, but it's
It's
just
not
something
meant
I'm
for
not
this time and
not
day
gonna
and
use it
age.
now.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have. So Ward would be a friend with benefits. Is that I can text him or text Jared with some of my most just vile, shocking
Jared's
jokes.
definitely my
and
number 1 friends with benefits.
for
in
yeah,
that way.
in that way, in that regard.
I can text him anything and he'll just be like, "LOL,
Yeah.
you're a piece of shit like me."
yeah, and he's just fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on because I know that you had some questions, and I really want to go over that instead of our regular games that we pick. I know I picked out some games.
But it is game time though.
Yeah, definitely game time, and but without the games that we normally play, we're not gonna play those. Caitlin brought in a really good, cute little thing that I wanted
So
to do.
I was listening to Whitney Cummings' book. Shout out to Whitney Cummings. Listen
I don't
or
know
read
who
her
that
book.
is.
She's a comedian. She's amazing. You
She-
should.
She actually is one of the few.
White girl comedians? Is she
Yes, so she's white, but you would actually like. She is
Her
a
jokes-
strong
And
animal.
it's not all about her vagina though.
White? It's not
No.
Amy Schumer humor.
No, and but you should
Humor.
actually listen to her or like look her up. Like you'd actually probably really love her. She's a strong animal activist. Like she's
Ooh.
like all of her shit's about animals, which I love. But she's effeminate. Like just look into her. Anyways, I was listening to her book and she was talking about like dating and making friends and all these things. But in one of the chapters about dating, it was like, here's some things you should ask people when you're dating. Like
Also,
play this weird game with them when
The
you're on a
questions
date.
that you told me earlier could also be used for friends. Too.
Exactly. So we'll do this. So I'll answer. So I'm going to read the question. We're going to give our answer, and then we'll circle back to what
Why
this
not
means.
let Derek read it, and then he read it to us, and then we...
Okay.
Or do you think you could do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do it.
Okay. Hold on. Okay.
She's gonna give the phone
Okay.
to him because
Yeah,
the
just-
phone has the questions on it.
Okay.
And then that way it could be rapid fire between the two of
Yeah.
us.
I like that. I like that idea. That's fun.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and start the friendish music though too.
Okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna read number 1, number 2, number 3. So just these bolded parts, and then on that one, that will say like the question number 1 meant this. So
Okay, one more time.
She's explaining it to Derek.
yeah. So
And
you're
I'm
gonna ask us
eating
this
and
question in
drinking
bold, like,
wine.
what's your favorite animal? Blah blah blah.
I'm chewing on the
And
glass.
then once we answer all three, 1, 2, 3, swipe over, and then
Ouch.
this is what we think of those.
Oh, okay. That's
Or,
fine.
like, so the answer is how we interpret that.
Okay.
Sable.
So I ask all 3 questions.
Yeah, and then you'll because I have it on like photos.
Then I swipe.
Yeah, because they're like photos that have been saved. Oh, I broke the microphone.
Just put it back in the hole.
Oh shit! Show's canceled.
Okay, we're back in action.
FrienDish will be back in another.
In 20
I should make
years.
a technical difficulties thing, with Michael Higgins playing. Okay. Alright. Yep.
It'll be the Troy and Abed song.
Yes.
Oh, Troy and Abed in the morning.
I'm glad you know that.
Lovely.
Fucking love
Well, you're
Community.
officially
You're in the group.
Oh, thanks. It took only 2.
Are we a triad now? Is that what?
yeah,
Yeah.
because you knew who Troy and Abed
I
were.
follow polyamory subs on
Yeah, you're
Reddit.
part of our sex group now.
Yeah, we're a triad.
Well, I'm gonna leave now.
We're gonna
Okay,
swing
bye.
right now.
Okay.
Triads aren't always sexual though, so
You're gonna. My phone's gonna
I'm
lock.
gonna watch you two bone and just in the
maybe
closet.
that's an episode for a future episode.
What,
A
cuckolds?
subject? No. Well,
Okay, just
but-
ask the questions. Number 1.
polyamory. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a
Oh,
future.
we should. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. 1.
What is your favorite animal, not your family pet?
You first.
You
Okay,
need to
I know
list,
mine.
You need to list 3 reasons.
So yeah, we're gonna
why.
explain. So I am gonna say I did this quiz with Whitney on her Audible book like 6 months ago, so I don't actually remember what these entail. But here are my answers. Favorite animal, octopus. Reasons being, I think they're super intelligent.
And they're tasty.
I think they're tasty. I think they're really crafty. I think they're masters of disguise.
Oh, that's cool.
Pretty cool. I like that.
I fucking love octopi. I wanna kiss them.
So my first answer would be goblin sharks because I've been obsessed with them since I was a little kid.
Tell us why. You
They're-
can't go back.
They're really well. My other answer would have been a slug or a snail. I mean,
Oh, well, you have to say
but
goblin
now I'm
sharks.
gonna say goblin
Yeah.
sharks because since I've loved them since I was a little
Yeah,
kid, they're
I love them
fucking
too.
ugly, but cool.
Oh no. Okay.
And I love them because they live in the deep dark ocean, which is also scary, and I've loved scary, ugly things since I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also-
hence her husband. Future husband.
I've also just really loved I've loved the ocean since I was a little kid. I've been obsessed with
Look at
the
us both
ocean.
doing little ocean creatures.
Yeah, and well, it's always been fascinating to me that deep dark ocean animals come up to the surface, and when they're up here with us, they just kind of like squish down to a nothing. So I
Yeah.
think that that's really interesting. That in the deep dark ocean they're normal, but when they come up to us,
They
the
just, like,
pressure, the
Yeah.
pressure of living up here with us is like so much that they just flatten out, and I'm like, that's me. I flatten out when
turn
I come
into a
up here
pancake.
too.
That's cute.
Let's
I like
go
that.
back down to the deep dark ocean where I can be myself when there's no sunlight and I'm just normal.
It's like when I talk about me at work, I'm like, some days I'm gonna let my snake skin fall off, and you guys will let me. You guys
I'm
will
actually
see
a
me.
lizard person.
You'll
underneath
see
this.
who I really am.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite article of clothing? Still the 3 reasons.
Okay, so mine.
Oh fuck, we're gonna pick the same one. I just fucking know it.
Mine's my Bugs Life sweatshirt. So
Oh.
do you have one of those?
Mine was gonna be sweatshirts in general.
Okay. Well, mine specifically is my Bugs Life sweatshirt because it doesn't have a hood, doesn't have pockets. It's just like it's a crew neck. So I don't feel like it's restricting. It's very therapeutic for me. Like I just need, it's a really comforting thing. And
It's a reflection of your '90s childhood.
I,
Or was Bugs Life in the 2000s or '90s? I think it was in the
2000s.
Oh.
Yeah.
The style of sweatshirt's very 90s.
Yeah. So I feel like it just feels very comforting and a little nostalgic, and it just, I don't know a third thing. It's just
Sweatshirts in general are really warm.
relaxing. It's comfortable.
It's like a hug.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. Like,
that's
I wear
really
it.
Sweet.
Yeah. A lot.
Well, since you already picked sweatshirts, I'm just gonna pick my.
You would still do if that's your
No,
favorite.
I'm picking my Arthur Morgan coat because
Oh,
I
boy.
actually. So I have this coat that's a Pendleton coat that I got from a thrift store for $40, but it's actually like a $200-something coat, and it's wool on the inside, and outside is like a. What is it like?
Tan, brown.
Well, what's
it's a pattern.
Well, I know, but what's the fabric? It's like a felt. No.
It might actually be.
It's like it's.
It might actually be somewhat of a wool material on the outside
Yeah,
too.
but it definitely is like an old
It's
school
rough.
cowboy coat.
Yeah.
It's a men's coat that I got at a thrift store, and I've been really proud of it in the past, but since we started playing Red Dead Redemption 2, Derek has made me feel really good when I wear it outside. So he's always like, "Hey, boy."
Oh
like,
yeah. Anytime she wears it, I'm like, "Come here, boy."
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just like, I don't know.
It's also
it makes
just
me
comforting.
feel good.
Yeah.
That's a good
Also, it's
boy.
really nice knowing that I got it for such a bargain.
So you
when I
feel
wear
good in it.
out,
You
yeah.
feel attractive. You feel
Yeah.
comfortable.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't feel 100% attractive because it's made for men, so it doesn't cut.
But to Derek,
cool,
to the
though.
man
Yeah.
that matters.
Yeah.
It's
cool.
incredibly warm in the winter, too.
Yeah.
We literally call it her Arthur Morgan coat.
Yeah, it's the Arthur Morgan coat.
Come here, boy.
But it is warm, and
Sure.
I feel really nice in it, mostly because I know that it's more expensive than what I paid for it. So,
That is cool.
So a little bougie.
yeah, that's about it.
What is your favorite body of water?
Okay, I don't know if this counts, but I'm saying it. I like the bathtub.
God damn it.
We're 2 and 1.
I have to pick something else.
No,
Something
you don't.
different.
No, you don't.
You don't. So these are my reasons, and I'm gonna say them real fast. I feel like it's private, it's soothing, and it's warm. Oh, that warm was a weird one. That one.
But
But those are my
bathtubs
3
are also
reasons.
disgusting because you're soaking in your own filth.
Yeah, but why do you like it? Do you like it because it's disgusting?
I actually rarely take baths. I haven't taken a bath in years. Maybe the last time I took a bath was when I had a rash and I needed to soak in oatmeal.
Nice.
No comment on the rash.
So I was like, I gotta fix this rash.
So is that your favorite body
no,
of water?
it's probably not now that I think about it because of the whole soaking in your own filth thing.
Yeah. So what is it? You can't think about it long. That's part of the game.
I guess I'm just gonna throw out the Oregon coast.
Okay,
then.
there you go. Perfect.
So, because I've only been there twice in my entire life, and
So
both
beautiful.
times that I've went, I was a kid and I don't remember the first time. And the second time I went was with my mom when I was having a really hard time in life, and so she brought me to the coast, and it was really, really cool. I flew a kite on the coast, and it was so fucking windy that I couldn't enjoy myself, but I still enjoyed myself because I rescued a crab. And I flew that kite, and I got sand and everything. All crevices.
So swipe over and tell us
Well,
what these
hold on
things.
real quick.
Oh,
Real quick.
Oh, he's got to answer his, right?
Oh, you wanna play?
I want
Yeah,
to throw some
okay.
out. This is
Oh,
fun.
oh, yeah.
So my favorite animal is not your family pet. Is
Yeah.
just house cats in general.
Okay, that's fine.
They have a great personality.
Yep.
They can like most house pets though can understand when you're upset.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as they can make you irate and angry, they can make you very happy in the same time.
Okay.
Their poop also really stinks.
And their poop is horrible. My favorite,
Admirable quality.
my favorite article of clothing is actually a tie, but they're both very similar. And it's actually the Steelers sweatshirt that Bree got me for my birthday / Christmas this year, and this Portland Trailblazers sweatshirt. They're both very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
They look good on you.
They look good on me, and they both represent a thing that I like seeing, but
important
without
to you.
being like kind of annoying. Like I don't have
Yeah.
to wear a hat and a and a
It's
shirt
not like the
and
old
a
comic
thing.
book shirts you used to wear.
And I don't wear those anymore. Yeah, my favorite body of water is any bit of water that trickles down my bod.
Oh no.
Man, I love showers. So good. Best time of the day.
I thought you were gonna say your sweet tea drinks or something like that.
No.
Unsweetened iced tea.
Just drips down the bod, feels good. It's like a great way to start the day.
Okay,
So if I
so-
drip something down your bod,
He'll come to that.
it'd be like, yes.
Girl.
Oh no! That's how I just.
Yeah.
Oh when I go, oh no!
I mean,
That'd be the
yeah,
most
that's
least
actually really
attractive.
accurate.
Be the least attractive thing on the planet. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so he's gonna swipe over and
Your favorite animal.
Wait.
Okay.
He's already swiped over? You
Yep.
already
Yes.
swiped over?
okay, there you go. He got it.
Your favorite animal is the way you view yourself.
Oh, shit.
I
I
feel
knew
good about
that.
it.
Oh, fuck. I mean, you're definitely a house cat.
Oh, you are. You described yourself perfectly.
Am I a goblin shark, guys?
Am I a master of disguise? Am
Sure.
I Clever.
No, this is actually pretty accurate.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
I
it
really like
is.
the house cat
Because you find what you relate
Yeah.
in that thing, so you appreciate those characteristics. Is what
makes
you're.
sense.
I picked
but-
something really ugly.
You said you're ugly but cool, which broke
So can
that. Now I'm thinking out loud.
when I'm under pressure, I'm great, but when I'm up above with everyone else, I actually collapse.
Can
into
I actually
nothing.
disagree, though? I actually disagree. I think your favorite animal is not that animal, though.
And the goblin shark?
I think you're wrong.
Ooh.
I think you're wrong.
What is it?
Axolotl.
I do love my
yeah.
axolotls.
You're existential. You.
I'm like, what do I do with my hands?
You
If
don't-
someone rips your leg off, you thrive and build another.
Or just don't and still exist.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, what
really,
I like that they sit there and like, what do I do with my hands?
and really, you have no purpose or plot on the planet.
You're just a being.
I have no cancer. I'm not cancerous at all.
Your favorite article of clothing is how others perceive you.
Comforting. What was mine? Gross.
No,
That-
yours was like nostalgic.
That Bugs Life sweater.
Nostalgic.
Oh, nostalgic.
Warm. Yours was warm.
Oh, warm, nostalgic, and
and
comforting.
Comforting.
Mm.
Mine was like definitely the
Cool.
expensive,
Attractive. Ooh,
but
people
like-
do
Cool.
view
But
you
like-
that way.
cheap but expensive.
People
And
do. They're
Ooh,
like,
okay.
that girl.
thrifty. would be a
Thrifty
thing.
is
Thrifty? Okay.
Yeah, that's how. That's a better description of cheap.
Warm and
Cool.
well, the thing that I like the compliments from you. Like I take the compliments from you a lot. Like the whole.
Boy. All right.
I don't know what that is
I like
actually.
that.
And your
Whatever.
clothes. That means that you like, people do view you as like a big thing. With
Woolly.
I feel like with your the names, it's like people view you as a big personality, but you're doing it in a casual, contained setting.
Right.
You're
Arthur
sporty.
Morgan is also a really great character, though, too.
Yeah.
Really great character.
Oh, I thought we were talking about you still.
A lot of great
What?
character with a lot of depth.
Okay.
Okay.
Video
so,
games.
So mine would be
Sporty.
Sporty. I mean, a lot of people.
Comfortable and
Not too
practical?
flash,y
Practical, maybe.
Not too bad. Practical, and they boost my confidence a little bit. Alright.
The water.
Your favorite body of water is how you view sex.
What did I remember?
Oh, I said relaxing, warm, and private. Ooh, those are all. Yep.
What was mine again?
Yours was the
Oregon
Pacific
coast.
Ocean.
And you just talked about your mom.
Oops. Gross.
Makes a lot of sense.
Gross.
And mine was every drop of water that drips down my body.
He's just like, give it to me, baby.
You're like a horn dog.
Mine is, so my view of sex is that I love
Everything
standing,
is sex.
I love standing under a body of water
Yeah.
that rains down on me. Shower me, baby.
Just a sensory overload.
Woo! I am sexy.
Wait, so I also said with mine, like, I was going through a hard time. Shit, do I have sex when I'm sad?
I mean, I have sex when I'm sad. And
I have.
happy.
Yeah, I would just want to do it.
Well,
I
I'm
just have
really
sex when I
sad
wanna
that I
have sex.
picked something that had to do with my mom, and then that had to do with sex.
Well,
Well,
mommy
mom's-
issues.
I mean, yeah, they're there, but I'm sad because
This is a good one.
I hope my
That
mom
is-
never
isn't that
Is there
listens
more
to
of
this.
these?
No,
that
well,
we could
maybe,
do for
but
other shows.
Probably, but this is just from the book that I.
You should find more from the book.
I know that the New York Times did a 36 questions to ask your loved one before you marry them.
Let's do it before we get married, Bree.
Okay.
Perfect.
Can you get married to two people at once?
Soon, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
not legally now,
Shit's
but
changing, but
Progression.
who knows?
So what, are we done talking to people now?
so what?
You guys bored with us?
You over us or like what?
No.
Write in.
Yeah, email us at friendishpodcast.com and write us in with your friends with benefit stories. Or not. You know what? Whatever. It's cool.
Here, let me help you out with this.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you to everyone for listening to the show and watching on YouTube. At FrienDish Podcast on Instagram. FrienDish Pod on Twitter. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content. Email us your friends with benefits stories at friendishpodcast@gmail.com, and the gals will feature it on the next episode. Don't forget to rate this episode of Friendish along with the other TSPN podcast on iTunes. These shows are all available on Spotify, Google Play, and of course, tspn.fun. Thank you for listening to the show today, and have a great week.
Cheers.
Thanks, everybody.